everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to talk about what to expect after your laparoscopy, and this is a bit of a shout out to Endo with Jazz as she's having her laparoscopy this week, so everyone go on her Instagram and wish her all the best luck. But I'm just going to talk about my experience after my laparoscopy, what things to expect, and some posts to follow on what other people think as well. A lot of things cross over, but yeah, so here we go. So I'll talk about my experiences first because I feel like that's just easier. When I woke up, I was just dying for the toilet. I was like, I need a wee, but they wouldn't let me go because you gotta have, I think it was too soon for me to get up and move about because I could get dizzy and things like that. So I had to hold off for a while, but a bit TMI, but I could feel blood. So I was like, I need to just go sort myself out. So that was one major thing to expect after laparoscopy. The first time I didn't have it, but I didn't have any endo excised the first time because they couldn't find it. But this time, obviously, I had quite a lot removed. So I was bleeding for quite a while. I want to say at least a month after. I don't know if that's normal, mind. But it was heavy for about 2 weeks. It was quite heavy. And then it was just sort of here and there for at least a good month. It was quite a while. So that's definitely something to expect. And make sure you get like pads and whatever you normally use just to make sure you're ready to go. Because it was quite a bit of a shock to the system for me. Because obviously I take my Sorel pill to control my symptoms. So I don't actually have any periods. So when I was bleeding, it was a bit of a shock, to be honest. But yeah, it's nothing too bad. Another thing as well is, this is a bit hypocritical of me to say, but make sure you let your body rest. Like my family were all saying to me, Courtney, sit down. But I was adamant. I was like, no, I'm doing stuff for myself. I'd get up to try and make my own drink. I'd get up to do my own food. But you just need to rest because it'll be really painful. I had 4 incisions. I think you normally have about 3 or 4. It depends on how bad and where they need to get to. But the actual incision sites, say that 10 times fast, is actually really painful and it can be sore for a good while. I think for about a week I struggled to get up on my own and walk. What I did have, I'll see if I can insert a picture because it's going to be really hard to describe.
I'm crying about it, little lady. She deserves photo credit.
I borrowed it off my nan, so shout out to nan. But yeah, it was so much easier because you're not doing all that work on your own. You've got the bar to sort of lift you up. So if you wanted to go to the toilet in the middle of the night and didn't want to wake up your partner or your parents or whatever, you've got that there. So that was really helpful. Another thing as well, I don't know if this is based on where your endo is, but I really struggled for a while to sit up straight like how I am now. I would have to sort of slouch right back like this, so I'm not actually sat up properly on my bottom, or I would just lay in bed because it was just too painful to sit. I don't know if that was because my endo was on my bowel or if it's just the situation where did it having a surgery anyway. Obviously now, but I'm like 3-4 months post-op now, so I don't think it's from my surgery now, but it's still just a bit painful anyway, so I'm assuming that's just my endo anyway. Yeah, who knows at this point. Another thing I wasn't expecting, I was constantly shattered. Like obviously with this condition you do have really bad fatigue anyway, but it just really wipes it out of you. You're just constantly tired. But then that's the time to rest, listen to your body and just sleep as much as you need to, sleep as much as you can. I found I'd sleep in the day and the night and I'd be fine. So I think it's most important thing of this whole video is just listen to what your body needs and just rest, please. Because yeah, that's all you really like. I wish I did rest more, to be honest. I was just so in the mood of, oh, I'm going to be better now. Like, this isn't even something I would have thought about, to be honest. I was just, before my surgery, I was just so focused on, I'm having surgery, whoa, I'm going to feel better. That was it. I didn't think of anything else. Didn't think of how I'd feel after. Didn't even know any of this. I didn't know to expect maybe some bleeding. Didn't expect it to the extent I had it, but there we go. It is what it is. But I think you get so excited just to have your op and then forget about all the other stuff. So it is really important. Maybe see what other girls say and other experiences as well. But yeah, I wish I listened to my body more. I think obviously the first few days I felt like I've been hit by a truck because it was just, you feel wiped and you are in pain with the incisions and it is sore and tiring and stuff. But then, I don't know if I had a slight bit of relief then. I was like, oh my God, this is going to be my life. And I was just so happy and excited. And that lasted about a week, if that, probably not even that, because I ended up doing too much trying to get up on my own. It was only little things, like getting up on my own, walking around on my own, trying to make drinks, things like that, that I was then, it would knock me out, or I'd have a shower and I'd have to sleep all day then after a shower, which nothing unusual there, because that's what happens anyway. But yeah, so just take the time to rest is basically what I'm trying to say there, blabbering on as usual. So I'm going to put the post up now by Pelvic Health on Instagram, and here's some things they say to expect in a laparoscopy. So they put like incision, soreness and tenderness. So that for me didn't last as long as I thought, actually. Like, you can still see my scars and everything now, obviously, but they're not painful to touch. I'd say 2-3 weeks I lasted, and then I sort of felt my endo pains coming back then. Well, I say coming back, I don't even know if they left, but that's another story. But yeah, it doesn't last too long. My stitches were dissolvable, so that was really helpful because I didn't have to go back in and have it pulled out and irritated again. They took a lot longer than I thought. Like, I think I was over a month I've had my surgery and I still had the stitches. But it turns out I just had to give them a little tug. Sorry if that's TMI and that grosses people out. But I could see, it's like, it looks like fishing wire. It's just like see-through sort of string. And I had a little scab and I thought, why are these coming out? And I just sort of tapped it and pulled it a little bit and it just come straight out. Like, it didn't hurt at all. It was fine. I think it already worked its way out and it was just waiting to go. So yeah, so that's something to expect if that freaks you out. I don't know. You might have, the first time I had to have my stitches out, but this time I didn't. So, but I think I'd rather have it how I had it the second time, to be honest, because it just felt a lot easier. Yeah, you do get quite a lot of pelvic pain and cramping. I don't know if that's why that is, if that's just where they've been. You gotta think, I don't know whether to recommend this before having your surgery or after. I watched a procedure of a laparoscopy after my surgery just to see like what my body had been through. In a way, I'm glad I didn't see it before, because yeah, it's not the most pleasant thing, like, but you can see how much like your ovaries are flipped about, and you know, you can see how much everything's moved, so you can understand why you're in so much pain and give yourself a bit of a break. Like, I was always, oh, I can do stuff, I've only got a few little cuts, but it's not the outside that matters, it's the inside. Like, your insides have been through hell and back, and like, obviously different organs are involved. Like, my appendix was all stuck together, so that had to be all apart. I had bits shaved off my bowel, the adhesions, like, there's quite a lot of body parts involved and organs, so it is really quite painful. So just make sure you remember that and give yourself the time just to chill out. But I don't know if the cramping could be from gas pains as well. Yes, you get irregular spotting and bleeding. It is quite random, to be honest, and it can last. Obviously mine lasted quite a while, but I don't know what the normal rate is for that. Yeah, fatigue and drowsiness. Oh, sorry about the really annoying noise. I always get scammers ringing my house phone when I'm filming. It drives me insane. No one else really knows my house phone number because I never use it. Anyways, forgot where I got to. What was the last one? Confusing me now. Oh, another thing which I struggled with in my surgery, because obviously getting up is really hard. They pump you with a lot of fluids in your surgery, and I don't know if this is just a thing I wanted or what, but when I woke up, I just was constantly down in the water that I had with me. And when I come home, I was just constantly wanting water as well, which obviously is brilliant for you, but I was constantly going to the toilet. And when it's really hard for you to get up and walk, it's not fun. So maybe, well, I don't want to say don't drink as much, because drinking water is amazing, but maybe have someone help you to get up the first few couple of times, or yeah, having that bed bar is really helpful. I'm trying to think what else. It's just one of those things, like, it's really good for your body. So I was a bit like, right, well, I'm not going to stop drinking, but this is really inconvenient to my life. Yeah, so next one, which I downplayed quite a bit as well, difficulty standing. Well, I said about sitting, but standing up and walking. So for a while, walking was really painful. I had to take like tiny little steps. Standing up, I couldn't stand up long. It feels, I want to say pulling. Obviously, that's like a normal endo pain as well. But more incision pain I was suffering with the first couple of weeks. It was like pulling on the incisions, or not obviously actually pulling, but that was the feeling. I don't know how else to describe it really. It's just a bit painful to stand up. So maybe make sure like the first week you're just laying down and obviously getting up when you need to. Maybe try, like I would try and come in my lounge and sit up to watch TV or something, but I'd be slouching in a comfortable position. But just, maybe try not to do those sort of things too much, like trying to sit up for too long or stand up for too long or walk too much. Just maybe try and slowly reintroduce those things. That's what I'd recommend. I don't know, it's a bit hard because when, like, you know, you got people, I had like people visiting me to come see how I was, and I wanted to come and sit in my lounge, or I wanted to go make him a cup of tea, and it's just been like, well, no, I gotta rest now. So that's what everyone's like, no, we'll do it. So definitely make advantage of your family. Is that, no, not take advantage, that's the wrong way of saying it, that sounds horrible. Make the most of your family, milk it for all it's worth, I say. Another thing you can suffer with is constipation, gas pain, and difficulty going to the toilet. So obviously I didn't have difficulty urinating, as I just said. Gas pain wasn't too bad for me, but the constipation was quite bad. I think I went a good couple of days after my op without going. I think another part of that was I was terrified, because obviously bowel movements for me with my endo is very painful anyway, and knowing that he had removed endo in that area, I was just dreading life because I was just so scared. But it wasn't bad at all. It was just normal, you know. Actually, it's probably less painful than it used to be. With obviously the endo pain before my surgery. But maybe take some lactose if you are struggling. My consultant has recommended me taking a teaspoon every day, because if you take it when you're constipated, it doesn't really do the effects that you'd want. So if you take it like each over a day, it keeps you more regular. I think that was the vibe he was giving off. And then the last one is abdominal swelling, bloating, nausea. So because you're so bloated, it did make me feel quite sick, and you just it's nothing unusual with endo, but you just feel 12 months pregnant and you're like, oh, it's just so painful, and you can feel the pulling from where it's so bloated. But it doesn't last too long. Just focus on trying to move around a little bit, get that gas out, heat on your shoulders where the gas pain is, keeping up with your painkillers, keep drinking. Oh, I did have another video as well of some tips. I'm going to put them up next. So I'm just going to put a post up by here as some tips. And this is by Endometriosis Jazz, I think it says. Not obviously Jazz, but this is someone else. So these are quite similar tips to what I've already given, but don't overdo anything too soon. It is just really important to let yourself rest and just understand you've gone through quite a lot and your body needs to recover. Hot baths with salt. Now this one, I can't remember when they told me. I think they said I had to wait at least a good like 2 weeks, maybe even like closer to a month, before having a bath, because obviously you've got to watch with your incisions, and if you have a shower you have to make sure they're dry. Just try it when you do have a shower. Just try it. I try to leave my head back to wash my hair, but the water obviously still goes on. It's really difficult. But just when you get out of the shower, make sure you use a hairdryer to dry your incisions off. And if you still got bandages on, make sure those bandages are bone dry, or put clean ones on, because obviously you don't want to get infections or anything like that. So yeah, just be careful with baths as well. So they also recommend meditation. So be sure to rest your mind. Recovery is mentally hard as well. It is really mentally hard because you just want to be back to normal, but obviously it takes time. Everything's a process. So meditation is really nice just to keep you calm, and like I've got a little book every night where I write the things I'm grateful for, good things that happened today, my most peaceful moment, and things I want to work on as like for myself as a person. I find that really helps me just calm myself down, think of the good things instead of all the bad things that happened in a day. So that's something nice that you could do in your recovery as well. Keeping up with your pain relief and supplements. So don't take painkillers when you're in pain. Just try and stay on top of them every 4 hours. I'm not too sure what the going thing is you get sent home with, because Oromorph doesn't really work for me. They gave me cocodamols because that's normally what I have for my pain anyway. So obviously it depends on what you're given. Don't go taking loads, but just however they guide you with what to take. So this is light exercise. I'd hold off on that until at least 2 weeks, like little walks. It took me a while to even leave the flat until I was ready. It was a while until I was ready to leave the flat. I think I just did a slow walk with Teddy around the block and Jaden about, I want to say 2 weeks after, if not longer, because I couldn't hardly stand up, never mind walk. And the doors, obviously I was with Jaden, so it was fine, but to go out on my own, the doors are all really heavy and it's just a bit of a struggle. Wear loose pajamas and clothing. I don't think I got dressed for over 2 weeks. I literally just put different pajamas on every day. Living my best life, honestly. I hate clothes. Like, that sounds so bad, but girls have underbelly get it, like anything just digs in. I've found, especially since my laparoscopy, my belly button's been really tender, so anything touching it is just not fun at all. So I just rather not go anywhere near it. And the last one is also make sure you have a trusted loved one to help you with physical activities, cleaning and the washing and stuff like that. So I was really lucky. Obviously I live with Jaden, so he did a lot of that for me. I had my mum popping round, I had Jaden's mum getting shopping, things like that. So it's really nice just to have your family around you just to help you out with things like that as well. And then obviously my dad and my sister were working, so I had them ringing me up all the time to see how I was and coming over to visit me. So it's just really nice to know that you're loved for? Is that how you say it? Cared for and loved. Just to know you've got people helping you, supporting you, getting you through this time. So I'm gonna wrap that video up there. Hopefully that was helpful. I don't know. Everyone go give some love over to @Endo with Jazz on her Instagram, as she has her laparoscopy this week, so I'm wishing her all the best luck and hopefully she gets the relief she needs so badly. And yeah, I think that's it. Thanks for watching.